Mic check, 1 2 1 2. You need one? Hold up. For you. Enjoy. Seriously, what in the creators is going on? Do you see this book? Can you see this? What in the creators is going on? When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. The creators did not expect their beloved dragons to sail skyward upon their end, to curl into balls just beyond gravity's grip, littering the sky with tombstones, with moons. They certainly did not expect them to fall. Sarah. I'm a little upset here, okay? I just started reading this book a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. If you can see my bookmark, you can see how far I've gotten. I have several questions. First of all, this book is actually really, really, really good. I wasn't actually expecting it to be this good. Like, I was expecting it to be very informal and different for me. I wasn't expecting there to be so many twists and turns towards the chapters that I'm on now. I am on chapter 50. Now, even though I'm on chapter 50, for those who know the chapters or at least remember the events that took place between the first page and chapter 50, you're going to kind of get where I'm coming from because you read the book. I have 2 sticky notes. You know I love me my sticky notes. My first sticky note that I wanted to talk about to really dive in this book, or at least get some form of understanding, because maybe other people might chime in. I don't know. Leave a comment or 2. I want to discuss Ravi losing Essie. A different version of Ravi exists deep within her. She buries her emotions. At first, it didn't make any sense when she would describe how it looks internally to bury her emotions, to bury her feelings, or how she processes grief, or really any negative emotion. I could see it so vividly. Because what you mean everything is buried under an icy lake? You cold-hearted like that, Ravi? Who did it?
If you hurt Ravi, you let me know.
A super emotional response was not coming. She buried her right to grieve Essie. I feel for her on so many different levels. I feel for Ravi because when you're grieving something, sometimes you don't even feel like you have the right to grieve. Does that make sense? Some people know what I'm talking about, and I might dive into that later in life, seeing how she reacted to losing a friend and how she had to just sit there and kind of watch her friend die in her arms. And how she genuinely cared for her friend, and she did love her, but she did not want to speak on it. Basically put words to her feelings because of what happens to those that she cares for. What makes it hard is the fact that she lost Essie in the beginning of the book. I am so sorry. Where are my manners? Welcome to the Nelly Drayton Show. I am Nelly Drayton. The only Nelly Drayton to exist in the world right now. Doing exactly what I'm doing. Talking how I'm talking. Walking how I'm walking. Hair swinging to and fro, wobbling till it touched the floor. All right, regardless of which, before I go into any more thought processes regarding When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker, I want to point out what made me pick up the book in the first place. First, I picked it up at Target. Target is a vibe. It's a vibe all the time. Second, look at the cover art. Don't look at my nails. Look at the cover art. Isn't it pretty? I fell in love with stories about dragons the moment I got to watch the movie Aragon in middle school. Ever since I watched that movie, I told myself one day I'm going to make something like that. I have to. I don't care how much work it takes. I don't care how long I'm on set. We got to. Me and all my 300 personalities. What? Anyways. The cover itself is so pretty. I like it. And I like that this is called the Moon Fall Series. What does that mean?
You're a victim.
Here we go, CSI.
It means there's going to be more books. It means there's going to be more books. Show you another thing that I like. Isn't she pretty? Isn't that pretty? I'm guessing that's Ravi and her dragon. Best-selling sensation When the Moon Hatched is a fast-paced fantasy romance featuring an immersive, vibrant world with mysterious creatures, a unique magic system, Echoes of the past race between them. There's more to their story than meets the eye, but some truths are too poisonous to swallow. This book contains explicit, first of all, shout out to the warning about the book. Book contains explicit content and dark elements that may be triggering for some. For a full list of warnings, please turn to the last page. You turn to the last page, and it gives you trigger warnings and tells you what's in the book and to be prepared for it, or to maybe not get this for your preteen or between a certain age. And in the back of the book also, of course, gives information about the author, which we all love. Look for the next novel in the Moonfall series coming fall 2025. Boop. See that? Love it. The Scavenger King epilogue. I haven't even gotten that far. I'm getting so worked up. So this book is like so big on information, which is why I'm having such a hard time. Let me not say hard time, which I think is why I'm taking my precious time in reading it and getting through the book, because there's so much information. She has a glossary. The glossary. You see that? I'm not going to show you what's in the glossary. Get your own copy. There's a whole glossary of the terminology that is associated with the whole world that exists in When the Moon Hatched. Oh, but there's more. The creatures and beings. See it up here somewhere? Creatures, beings. The different creatures that exist in this world. Pronunciation guide. That's how I knew how to pronounce Ravi's name, because it's in here. And Khan and the Fear Du Off. There's a map. Love it. Love it already. I'm in love. I love authors who put so much detail in their work. It gives you more than what you're asking for. You're not just paying for the words and the story in this book. You're paying for the world that is now new to our world, right? Something super random that I really like about this book. I like that it's almost in association with how people will say or quote, "Oh my God," OMG. You know, for people who don't want to say the Lord's name in vain, they just say, "Oh my glob," or "Oh my gosh." But in this book, they say creators. Like, what in the creators? No, actually, I take that back. I don't even think it's an association with OMG. I think it's like when people say, "Oh heavens, merciful heavens." I don't know. I would like to talk to Sarah just to see like what, you know, just to have like a deep dive down that path and see what was it, you know? Towards the 50th chapter, it does get very chaotic very fast. Another sticky note that I wrote just to kind of get back into just the talk about the book. I wrote down, Ravi has been on survival mode. I can relate to being on survival mode. It's honestly really sad that she's been on survival mode. Finding out why she's been on survival mode, my brain is still trying to catch up. I'm technically in chapter 50, but I'm still in like chapter 15 because I had to go back and like really pay attention and really reread some things because it's so heavy in description. Oh my goodness. And then on top of that, this man, Khan Bagor, who is the king of the... It's so much. I'm telling you, it's so much. Hold on. The king of the burn. He's the king of the burn. Khan, this man kills his father to avenge his love's life. You find out later that Ravi is the one that he got revenge for. He took revenge for Ravi and killed his own father. Lopped his whole head off. I don't even know what? This is like a really good book because the first couple of chapters, I would say like chapter 1 through 15 is like setting the stage, but there's so many details that you have to pay attention to. It's such a long descriptive story in the beginning because you're trying to get some information about who Ravi is and what does she do. Obviously, she's a bounty hunter. It does say that on the cover. You notice that within her job title, you notice who she's reporting to and why. Do we know why she's reporting to Sareem? No, we don't. If you know what I'm talking about, it's because you read the book. If you didn't read the book, then you don't know what I'm talking about. At some point, there's a chapter called The Other. I don't know what the heck. I don't even know. I hope I didn't miss it or miss the point because I'm still confused about that. I'm just upset. And wait a minute, hold on. I know I'm all over the place, but this is like the first of many, so give me grace, okay? Why does Khan keep calling her Moonbeam? He called her Moonbeam when he saw her in prison. There's so much. Like, why? But why does Khan keep calling her Moonbeam? Why does he why? Why? What was their relationship? Huh? Why were they feeling so much heat and intensity in chapters in the later chapters where it gets real adult like very fast? She wants that man. She wants Khan, but she doesn't even know why. That would frustrate me. Oh, I'm attracted to this man, but I don't know why. And there's rage and fire in my stomach. And I just feel like I can't live without him, but I hope he dies. What is that? Ravy, what is wrong with you? Ravy, she's been through so much. My God. I absolutely love when I can't predict what's going to happen. The fact that Khan followed Ravy around for a little bit at the Hungry Hollow had me a little confused, had me a little scared, because I'm thinking like, is she going to be one of those people that we immediately grow to love in the beginning of the story and then she's killed off? Ooh, stories like that be making me so mad sometimes. Not because of the writer, but because of how quick I got attached to a character. Your writing skills, marvelous indeed. But just noticing like how this world is set up and how all this time she was being followed by someone who knows of her past. It had me completely, and it's crazy because it had me completely startled, but it says it right here. The description, it says it, and my brain didn't think, oh, they were lovers, or maybe they were, they worked together. My brain didn't go straight to that because of how the beginning of the story sets up. And so I have to give all of the flowers, roses, daffodils, sunflowers, tulips. I have to give you all your flowers, Sarah, because the beginning was so detailed. I was completely overwhelmed by information to the point where I wanted to try to understand this world. I started to feel myself dive in and completely go tunnel vision so that I could truly experience this world for what it was. Something else that I didn't pay attention to, I paid attention to, but I lost it once I got to like chapter 20, is the very first chapter, what it says. 5,165,000 phases after stone. That is a very important piece of information I did not process and download and store for later. And then it just keeps getting crazy because I'm like, the elemental stones that everybody, has to represent the songs that they can hear for the different creators, the story of the creators. Woo! But her brother, when her mother and father died, that's one thing, which is so much. But when her brother died, his dragon held him close and flew to the sky and died with him because that dragon could not imagine life without him. Okay, rewind. Can we talk about the part where Ravy and Khan was in the little cottage that was for his mother after he made the soup for her, and he just from time to time kept looking at Ravy? Or when she was in the, no, rewind. When she was in the prison, he was just looking at her and he called her Moonbeam. And she's like, what do you want? And he's just looking at her like, you don't recognize. And of course, we don't know this in the beginning when you're reading it. You don't know that he's looking at her like, come on, any memories come into the forefront, looking at my face? No. Maybe if I call you this nickname, you'll know who I am. No. But when he was saying it, before we realized the connection he had with her, the relationship he has with her, it was giving creep. It was giving, you're being creepy. You sound like these other men that try to take advantage of her. You're being very weird, sir. Like, back up. Once Khan brought Ravy and sat her on the table, they were all looking at Khan and then looking at Ravy, then looking at Khan again. I'm imagining it because when I read it, I'm thinking to myself, I know that they are looking at him like he is crazy. But at the same time, they're looking at her like, who is she? Because she looks like somebody that we used to know. And if memory serves us well, she's supposed to be dead. Off of where my bookmark is. I'm almost, yeah. But this is the first of many. Like I said, I would like to start a virtual book club. I might play video games from time to time, but your girl is a reader first and foremost. Following me on Patreon would be the best solution. I will post little snippets here and there or post some videos on both YouTube and Patreon. But Patreon, I want it to be specifically for the writing world of the Nelly Drayton Show. I may have said this several times on my live streams, but to just harp on it for those who are new, the Nelly Drayton Show is just a plethora of things. I cannot put myself under one category. I've tried and I went crazy doing it. I told myself maybe I should stop living under the expectations of people and just be me. Take the labels off. Get out of the box that people keep trying to put me in. I'm too much for you. If I'm too much for you and you're gonna choke trying to digest me, then you're just gonna have to choke. I'm not gonna make you comfortable just so that I can be uncomfortable for the rest of my life. I tried that and almost failed at life. So no. So with that being said, Patreon will be more of the writing side of the Nelly Drayton Show. And what better way to really connect with people than to discuss like your perspective about characters in a book created by people who really put their heart and soul into their creations. Also, blue pages. Blue. That right there, Sarah, I like that very much. Blue, it's kind of like my favorite color. So I'm digging all of this. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys liked it, loved it, and subscribe for more of it. Until next time, because of course you know, God willing, there will be a next time. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. Get you your own copy because you're not getting mine.